When I tell you, don't nobody complain more than somebody who's rolled as fuck, has to be the truest statement ever written. So this guy right here, I guess his name is Stone, and he goes to Ole Miss. And he made a post that said the SEC reducing roster spots kills American track. So if you aren't familiar, they're doing like a roster reduction to where only 10 cross-country runners are going to be able to be on a cross-country team. And I think it's like 40 or 35 track runners. Cool. And when I tell you that it wasn't nothing but roll motherfuckers agreeing and commenting on this, I seen nothing but roll motherfuckers resharing and reposting this. I didn't see not a single slider indulge in this conversation. Cause they know it don't affect them. It only affect the motherfuckers who's rolled. Only a motherfucker who's rolled worried about, oh, I'm not gonna get a roster spot. If there's 10 roster spots, why are you complaining? Just be one of the 10. There's what? 10, 12 SEC schools? That's like 110 roster spots. So if you can't be a part of that 110, maybe you just need to go get a job or go to another conference. It's that simple. But I seen some roll shit in these comments and it was ridiculous. One was this guy right here. He was saying how there's freshmen running in the NCAA. They already went pro and blah, blah, blah. I was like, wow, this guy's really concerned. Like he's getting a spot taken away from him. He's putting in all his work and these guys like taking spots from him. So I just went to look him up and I see that he was a junior in college running 210 in the 8, 421 in the 15, 1755 in the 5K, and 26 in the 8K. So he wouldn't even be competitive as a woman, but he's so concerned in the comments about the SEC limiting their roster spots. I'm just confused by this. Then there is this roll motherfucker right here named Max from Oklahoma State, who's more than likely never going to be on a travel team, never will have a scholarship. He's literally paying to run track there. And I never understood people who pay to run track and are still a roll. Like you're paying to be rolled. I don't get it. But he said his goal is to run 147 by 22 years old. I said, if 147 is your goal as a senior in college, when 147s didn't even make the NCAA's indoor or outdoor last year, you're rolled and you're planning to be rolled for your whole life. DM me. I know a few companies that are hiring that you should look into. And then he said, you didn't understand, Buster. You have 3-year-long degree at GCU. Good luck finding a job. But clearly he's unfamiliar with who I am and who I'm connected to and what I do. So I'm just going to allow him to remain unfamiliar. But just know Aaron Brown and financial struggles and jobs and shit like that, that's not a concern. That's not a concern. But this just goes to prove, and he also runs like 156 and 800. So talentless. So this just goes to further prove my point that all the guys are mad about this are just talentless non-factors. So like no one cares because the people who care, no one cares about you because you shouldn't even have a mouth down there. Like you should go to the hospital and probably get your shit stitched closed. When I tell y'all the most maddest motherfuckers on earth be the roadest motherfuckers on earth. We know the SEC are reducing their roster sizes and they getting rid of all road shit. They cleaning house. All the walk-ons, they stepped on ass, gotta go. We sending these motherfuckers to NAIA. And I pretty much made a post celebrating yesterday on my story. I said I knew the walk-ons would hate this shit. Stop complaining online and go practice so you can get a scholarship, you silly, stupid, stepped on motherfucker. And when I tell you all the walk-ons in the SEC was highly upset with me for just stating facts that they suck and they need to go practice and get better. To the fact where this roll motherfucker right here, his name is Will Douglas. These are Will Douglas stats right here. Mind you, he's in the SEC, the most competitive conference in track and field or in college. And by these stats, we know these aren't even good high school times. So he's indeed a walk-on. So he's the type of guy that took offense to the post that I made. Mind you, I was thinking this was a mile time. And even then, this is not a fast mile time. He ran 407 in the 1500, something I can do. And I'm a sprinter. 14:43 in the 5K. That would be a hell of a time for like a sophomore or junior in high school in probably 2016. 25 in the 8K. He's talentless. He has no talent. But instead of him seeing my story and going to go actually practice so he can get himself a scholarship and stop running these middle school ass times, he took the time out of his day to comment on my shit and say, go fuck yourself. as if I was supposed to be some type of like threatened by this or fear him in some type of way. I'm not fearing a guy with this type of haircut. And plus, he's a distance runner, and not even a good distance runner. So I got mad, and I said, do something when you see me, since you so mad. And when Will Douglas road ass seen my message, he unsent his message as if nothing happened. My point exactly. Leave me alone. Road motherfucker, go practice. That's all I want you to do. I don't want no problems with you. I just want you to go get yourself a scholarship more than you want to go get yourself a scholarship. So apparently everybody mad that I'm saying that the walk-on should be eliminated from the NCAA in its entirety. And the biggest demographic of the motherfuckers mad are the walk-ons. We had the kid Will Douglas from Alabama. You can check my recent video. I did a video on him after he sent me a very distasteful DM. I responded. Then I got a DM from one of his other teammates, Ethan Lemons. He said, hey, bro, Will Douglas is my teammate, and he's the hardest worker I know. And no one deserves a roster spot more than him. Well, since both of y'all are walk-ons, and when it comes down to both of y'all getting cut, and the coach says, you know what, I can only keep one of y'all, make sure you raise your hand and volunteer to get cut so he can keep his roster spot since he deserves it more than anybody. Anyways, let's continue. He said, I know he said something ugly to you, but I think he deserves an apology. How can someone do something to me and try to dictate how I respond to it? You don't get to dictate how far I go when you do something to me. Like, just say if somebody slapped me in the face. You don't get to dictate what happens back to you. If you slap me in the face, you can't say I went too far because I pulled out a gun and shot you. You can't say I went too far because I got into my car and ran you over with it. Only thing you can do is respond how you initially responded, but you can't dictate the response of the other person in which you did something to. Anyways, he said, you have no business roasting people on social media. Well, I mean, I get paid thousands of dollars to do so, so I feel like I have I have a little bit of business, just a little. He said, because you run at a poverty program and you're just a big hater on the SEC because you could never make an SEC roster. I actually go ask your sprint coach, did he recruit me a year and a half ago? And you said I could never make a SEC roster. Brother, if they do cuts tomorrow, you would not be on the SEC roster. And you're paying to be on the SEC roster. I will be on there for free getting paid. And you said I couldn't as if I'm unable to compete in the SEC. Like, and you got to think about it. This is you. If you look at all of your times, you aren't competitive in a single event in the SEC. And you've competed at 2 conference meets. The last one, the most recent, you didn't even finish. And indoor, you finished 16th place. Let me show you something. That same meet where you finished 16th place, this is the 200-meter final. Only ran 2 200s indoor. 2079, 2076. Both would have finished top 5 in the SEC final. Where you ran your PR at Brian Clay and got 14th place. I ran at Brian Clay. I got 3rd place. So I can't make an SEC roster. You can't make an SEC roster. You have to pay to be on the team. For all the SEC schools that recruited me, I was giving money from all of them. You were giving money to all of them. Brother, we are not the same. We are not the fucking same. So instead of DMing me, how about your road ass just go practice? That's all it takes, because if they do roster cuts tomorrow, you gone. You fucking gone. You're on the team as a GPA booster so the sliders can maintain a good team GPA. But you're old. You're old, rolled, and need to be told. Boys and girls, let me just tell you, certain jokes should just write themselves. This guy right here, wrong picture. This guy right here, Kai Crawford, felt the need to at me on his story as if I'm just a person out here just being negative and things of that nature. He felt like he posted a hell of a quote. He said, remember, folks, drowning men will drag you down if you let them. Hashtag rolled by the tide. Bruh said disgusting behavior. So His teammates DM'd me. All I did was respond. Now my behavior is disgusting. That's like a girl getting assaulted by a dude. And then later she just goes over and kill him. And then you tell her, that's disgusting behavior. Why would you do that to him despite what he did to you? But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I just knew he was the greatest distance runner in all of America, just based off him posting and even adding me. But unfortunately, boys and girls, this simply wasn't the case. I looked at his times. I said, oh, damn, I can't even go too hard on him. He run 28:12 in the 10K. Then I realized it was the 8K. He fucking sucks. I run faster than you in an 8K, and I'm a sprinter. Then you could talk about the school I go to and things like that. You would literally be the worst person on the team at GCU. And it's not even close. And then in track, you're disgustingly horrible as well. You're not good in a single event. And mind y'all, he's in the SEC. Only two of these events are real. And that's the 8 and the 1500. This is the conference that I'm in, the WAC conference. You wouldn't be ranked top 10 in the 800. In the 1500, you wouldn't be ranked top 20. So you're paying to go to Alabama in the SEC, and you wouldn't even be competitive in the WAC conference. Why are you speaking, adding me, or mentioning me? Go practice. You fucking suck. You're terrible, and you will never be anything.